Look up the word crazy in the dictionary and you might just find an asterisk beside the definition that says, listen to the Subiquitous podcast featuring Sue Duffield and you'll find out what crazy means. Sue's travelogue journey of unfiltered stories, impossible miracles, and faith-filled fun will be revisited right here. So buckle up and let's get going with this humorous travelogue of an unfiltered saint, Subiquitous.
Have you ever been dunked in a dunking tank? Seriously, I don't know why I said yes, only because I love this woman with all of my heart, and somebody said that I would be a great candidate to be in a dunking tank. And the truth of the matter is, this is my first time ever being in a dunk tank. We're going to talk about dunking for dementia on this episode number 105, Season 3 of the Subiquitous podcast. I can't believe it either. I can't believe that we're starting year 3 of this podcast. The last analytics that I saw was it looked like we are now in 15 different countries and there's over 14 to 18,000 people that could potentially be listening to this podcast around the world. Now, that in some regard to a lot of the famous people of the world, you know, the ones that fall out of bed like Oprah and have 1 million followers per second. But let me just tell you, in my realm, that is pretty doggone awesome. And I thank all of you for tuning in to the podcast and also the podcast that I produce. There's one called Marriage Dynamics, Dynamic Marriage Uncovered, which is just a great, great, great podcast, reaching and teaching couples young and old to just be better at their relationships. And then by far, my favorite podcast is called Aging, Angst, and Alleluias with Mary Anne Oglesby-Sutherly. And speaking of the angel.
Yeah, right.
I have her live and in person right here on this podcast today. Welcome, Mary Anne.
Well, it's good to be here, except that I'm hot. It's just hot outside. And so, I don't know, maybe that tank's going to be refreshing for you.
I'm thinking, I was praying for a 90-degree heat wave because there's nothing worse, according to what I'm finding out. People who get in a dunk tank and then drop in that 20-degree water.
Cold water. Yes. And let me tell you, it's supposed to be 64 that morning and the high 80 on Saturday. Yeah. So it's perfect dunking weather because the water will be cool and you'll sit up there and shimmy and shake and carry on. And want to hit somebody for knocking you in 100 times. But hey, it's going to be a fun day. I'm going to be in the tank too, but only one time. I'm old.
So you put out this message about the dunking for dementia, and you actually put out this curious post that said, if I'll raise $3,000, you'll get me in the tank. And you thought, surely that would not happen.
Yeah, well, I was wrong.
For a good cause.
So wrong. Listen, money's coming in $500 at a time, and I'm going, well, what have I done to merit such response? I would like to think it's because I'm nice, but I have a feeling that that's probably not what it is. So I don't know. But you know what? Chunky girls make big splashes. Can I just tell you?
I wasn't going to say it.
I know you weren't going to go there, but I will. There's something about us chunky girls. When we get up on that thing, people just like to see us displayed for, I don't know what the word is, turn upside down and roll around. Because, see, I don't know if you know, but there's a clear piece of stuff down there on the bottom of the tank.
That they can see. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh,
they see your legs wrap around your head. You look like a roly-poly bug rolling around. It's horrible.
I can't wait because most people know they've been listening to us promote this Dunking for Dementia Day, which, by the way, is on Saturday, June the 4th, 9 to 12 noon. And we are also going to be going live on Facebook, too. So we'll talk about that as well. But anyway, in Gallatin, right there, and the address is 650 Nashville Pike, Suite 7A, right there on the parking lot.
Yeah, we're going to be on the grass parking lot because chubby girls don't do good on concrete.
No. I was going to say. Thank you, Jesus, for that one. Oh, I know. Can you imagine 90-degree asphalt? That would not be good.
Oh, Lordy.
Ooh. Oh,
No. So we have tents, though. We have tents that
good.
people can sit at, and we've got snow cones, but it's shaved ice.
Oh,
Someone
shaved
donated the shaved
ice.
ice truck to come and
Oh,
sit out, and it'll be
nice.
free. We have Cokes and water and snacks. So we're going to have a great time. It's going to be fun. There'll be cornhole.
Lovely.
It'll be a fun time. Yeah, we got a lot of competition, too. It's not just me and you and that
Oh, that's a trick.
silly Rob Novell at the music school of his. Listen, people are throwing money at him like water at a fire.
Oh, that's
It's
awesome.
funny.
See, again, it's they want to see these people be dunked. I can't wait to show off my 1920s Victorian bathing suit.
It's charming.
When I get in the water, though, I'm very scared. I'm a scared.
Well, I'd be scared too because just your shirts fly up over your head. So if your swimming suit gets a puff of water up in there, honey, I'm going to die laughing. I'm going to be standing there with the camera and Dusty Wells at Day Win. He's going to die when he sees this footage. No, I'm just telling you.
It's going to be, well, it'll be one for the record books. There's no doubt.
That's right. He had a Speedo last year and you covered from head to toe.
Oh man, I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to it. I was going to show you because Mary Anne can see me, but I don't have it right in front of me. But I also bought one of those old-fashioned rubber bathing caps.
Right.
And when I put that on and put my sunglasses on with that, hopefully nobody will know who I am.
But if you open your mouth, they're all going to know because honey, when you leave the seat, let me just be the first to tell you, you holler, your life flashes before your eyes, all kinds of things. And you just pray real hard, Lord, do not let this swimming suit come up over my head. Do not let this swimming suit. Does it have like a leg thing in it where you stick your legs in there?
Yeah, I bought that extra because I thought, dear God, if that dress thing goes up over my head, it would expose my all everything. So I thought, no, I know,
honey.
I'm still worried though about the underwear showing through. So I got to figure that one out too.
Oh, listen, some of these prissy young girls get up there in their little swimsuits and prop and have all this stuff. And I'm just thinking, I'm trying to cover up or something. I'm just doing this for charity. I'm doing this for people living with dementia. And honey, they don't care and they won't, they just will have it. They'll be there too. So they'll be clapping and cheering everybody on. They think it's hysterical.
Oh.
So, hey, it's all for a good cause. And
I can't wait.
If your dress floats up over your head, I would tell you we'd erase it, but we won't. We'll have to show it.
Let's say once where you're sitting, how far down is the water where you're sitting on that platform?
Well, your feet go down to it. You can sit on it in your knees, from your knees down to be in the water. But let me tell you, when the bottom falls out,
it don't matter.
When your seat falls, it don't matter because you turn into a big ball and you just plunk and water goes everywhere.
Oh, gosh.
We keep water running continuously into it because
so much water comes out. Well, they're going to have to get a tanker truck with water when I go in it several times to make sure. Oh, another thing that I was thinking they should probably, have you thought about having a rescue squad there in an ambulance?
Well, we're close to the fire department. It's right down the street. But we don't want that fire truck to come down. No, we don't want that. Oh, girl, I'd have a heart attack. You just can't hold on to the thing you're sitting on because some people won't turn a loose of it and they spread out like a chicken pulling the wings out. You know how you cut the wings off a chicken? They'll just be spread out there and holding on to it so they don't go under. I thought, well, what's
the value in that? No, that's fine.
Just roll up and don't land on your feet. There's some rules of dunking.
Right.
Don't land on your feet because it'll mess your knees and back up. And I have a bad knee, so honey, I just go down like a roly-poly bug. I just flip and flop like a bass in a pond.
I'm looking forward to it.
Lordy.
So how long have you been doing this now, this dunking for dementia?
This is our 6th year.
6 years. Wow.
I mean, it's really cool because it's easy. It's $5 a throw. Anybody can do it. We get leaders in our community, people in the medical field,
right?
Gospel music people. We get a full gambit of different people that are in different areas. Like we've had the mayor, not the mayor. We've had the Chamber of Commerce president. We've had a lot of different people. Nurses. We've had a doctor. We've had we have two what we call family. Deb Catron's family comes to the veranda. She's going to be in it. And Damar Noecker, he's built 3 verandas for us, or redone 3. So he's our sound man. He is our stage manager at our Christmas event. So we have 2 family of the veranda, everybody's family at the veranda when we do a fundraiser. So the community backs us well.
That's great.
Our church, our pastor's going to be in it.
Oh, Todd Parrish.
So I'll have to be nice.
Yeah.
Todd Parrish, yeah. But listen, he's going to hit that water hard himself. He can't be. I know Welch College is so proud of him. I said that in the video. I said, I bet Dr. Pinson and Dr. Moody just laughing, him sitting up on there. So, but hey, he's a great pastor, and he loves the veranda, and he's a psychologist, and he understands dementia. So he understands the family dynamics of it. We're going to have a good time. We have hospice workers. We have long-term care community workers. We have the Hearth. We have Aviana Hospice. We have Caitlin Clifton, who is a doula. We are all doulas. And so she's Christian Towers, and Caitlin, honey, there is no one any more competitive than Caitlin. I don't know what she'll do.
I think I remember meeting her. I can't wait. I think there's going to be some competition majorly that day. Wow.
Yes, Caitlin was at the caregiver conference.
Yeah.
Honey, she is not scared of the devil himself. Now, I'm just telling you, she'll stand up toe to toe and go, no, you listen to what I have to say. So I can tell you right now that Caitlin, she's going to be the one to beat now.
That's
because
awesome.
She'll go out on the street corner and beg people to come in. And she's lived in Gallatin forever. So, hey, everybody knows her. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Well, Mary Anne, this is your 3rd visit with me on this podcast.
Yes, it is.
And,
I feel honored.
Well, you ought to be, because no, I'm just teasing.
Well, all right then.
No, and
I'll take me a sip of that.
I said to you before we started recording, I said, do you ever in your life regret the day that you met Jeff and I? What was it? I guess really almost the first time we met was about 2 years ago, but officially we've only really been friends for probably the last 8 months or so. But it's been a fast, fun, and amazing friendship, and I am just honored as heck to be with you and to have you a part of not only the ministry that I call Podcast World, but also as a good friend, and I just appreciate all that you do.
Well, I appreciate you and Jeff. You know, the podcast world was new to me. Had it not been for you, I probably would have never done it. And can you believe it'll be a year since
That's
you came to
crazy.
the veranda for the first time. So you and Jeff coming to sing. I have to tell you, the video that you're singing on and that Rosie's singing God Bless America hit 23,000 views over the weekend for Memorial Day. It's just crazy that a little woman that passed away with dementia that no one knew has been, I checked the statistics on it, and some were in Oregon, Washington State, Massachusetts, New York, Texas, Arkansas, everywhere, Minnesota. So all over this country, a little woman that had dementia who loved the Lord was finally heard. Mm-hmm. You know, when you get dementia, nobody thinks about you. Nobody listens to you. But 23,000 people listened to Rosie sing the last part of God Bless America with you. Mm-hmm. And we played it at church Sunday. She opened up our church service because everybody loved Rosie, you know. And,
I did
and so
too.
It's those things that make the veranda tick and make me proud of what we have accomplished here. This is our 10th year. We'll celebrate 10 years in August. So, hey, you know, I used to talk to the Lord and I'd say, okay, Lord, if I can make it 5 years, I'll just be thrilled. That'll be good. So when we got to 5 years, I said, well, how about 10?
It's almost like your $3,000 limit. You should have put $6,000 to dunk you instead of 3.
I know. I thought about that. Well, if I get 3 this easy, I may up it to 5 by Saturday.
The difference between Mary Anne Oglesby-Sutherly and a lot of the industrial side of the dementia world is that you are, to me, textbook relationship. And when I have walked into your facility and not only spent time with the clients, as we call them, but also get a chance to know some of the family members. This is by far the best advertisement of all, is that when you get into a relationship with a family, And I know a lot of the behind the scene things that Mary Anne does that the world doesn't know about. But I know a lot of stuff that you do that goes above and beyond any pay grade of anybody that's in the profession that you're in, because you are relational.
Right.
That's the reason why I think you need to go at least another 20 years. That's the thing that I think. And how old will you be? Let's see. You'll be
I'll be about 64.
You lie.
I lie. Well, you know what? The relationship between us and our families is what's truly kept us going. Relationship, we don't market and advertise much. The first thing that we've ever used as a marketing tool has been the podcast, but that's really not marketing anything but the truth about dementia, and hopes that people will understand the disease. But it isn't even so much the disease to me. It is the people that live with it, and they have no voice. They have no place in our world, really. And so many things about them are just amazing. Rosie's one of them. I mean, who would have thought? And it's been that way with lots of people. People know our clients due to social media, due to the fact that we love them. They know these people, and no one would have ever known them had it not been that they had dementia. And I've learned such spiritual truths from people living with dementia. We have a gentleman now that was a former Secretary of State for the state of Tennessee, a former House of Representative, fine pastor, fine man. And Brother Bryant was here today, and his life on this earth is almost over. I looked at him and I said, you know what? When we get to heaven, we're not going to have to deal with all this mess. And he said, we're going to sing and sing. And I said, well, I think I'm just going to come sing on your patio with you. He said, come on. I said, I will. You know what? The things of the Lord, if you've been raised like you and I've been, like that Pastor Bryant's been, like the Rosies, like the Marys, God will not allow me to not find value in this part of their journey. They've had value as Secretary of State. They were known, but that isn't what they want to be known for. They want to be known for who they are and their love for the Lord. And so we give them the opportunity to do that with our church service here. They can be who they are. We have a saying around here, what's said in the veranda stays in the veranda. And that's the truth, because I don't care who they are. I know they have dementia, but we love them where they're at. And so that's the hard thing for families to understand. But it's really hard for the church to understand that.
Right.
They don't see their value where we do here at the veranda. So, hey, it's worth a dunk in a tank. I might not think so on Sunday, but I'll know it's good, but my body will tell me no.
And speaking of Sunday, we're going to be with you at Impact Church also on Sunday morning, June the 5th. After we've recovered from the dunk tank, we're going to be expected to sing and worship God with Rob Novell. I can't wait for that one, though.
I know. I can't wait to hear him play the bass guitar. We're going to have to get together Saturday afternoon and figure out what we're going to do and have some good old-fashioned piano playing and singing and bass guitar. It's going to be a great Sunday. It's kind of to top off our church. We're involved in our church here. Without this church, there would be no veranda due to the legislative process that we have to go through in order to be open. We are a faith-based nonprofit. And so Sunday morning is going to be that time of singing and worship and just thanking the Lord for a great day on Saturday, but more of that just for the capabilities of loving people that have a terrible disease, and actually are dying. You know, if you want to know the truth, their course is death. But hey, if you love the Lord, doesn't bother Brother Al any. Great guy, great veteran from Vietnam. You know, you learn about these people and you learn their lives, that he was in the Vietnam conflict for 4 years. He re-enlisted, was in the medvac helicopter. He literally held Agent Orange in his hand in a cylinder, from what his wife told me. Went to throw it, it hit him, went all over him. And so because of that, and because of PTSD and Agent Orange and a veteran, he now has a dementia that isn't pretty at all. But he still loves the Lord and loves to sing about Jesus. And you know what? Only God could do that.
Only God. Oh.
And he volunteered to go back for the next 4 years. He did not, but he re-enlisted, and then that happened. So, hey, God, I believe God holds a special place in his heart for Brother Al, and things are going to work out. They're going to work out.
And you have helped this family in their transition. I like what we talked about on another podcast, where we talked about how families view their loved ones as they unfortunately digress into dementia.
Right.
That they want them so much to live the life that they had. And I love what you've said so many times in my presence, as well as many times publicly, that we love the client, we love the person who has dementia in their new life and in their new awareness.
Right. I don't know the man that climbed out on a helicopter. I don't know that man. I know the man that walked in the door, that smiled, a smile as big as outdoors, loves to sing the hymns, cries at the talk of Jesus and what Jesus has done for him. I love him where he was when he came here. I don't know the old Al. I know this Al with dementia. So we just have a grand time. It's just a fun time. And so that's one reason why we did the Duncan for Dementia, is to have a fun time.
Right.
Not to be sad, but to have fun. And like I said, they'll come. They'll be here. I'll take them up there and let them dunk you. There's a magic button up there.
Oh, no.
There's a magic button that you can push and you'll go in no matter if the ball hits you or not.
Yeah.
So I'll let some of them dunk people so they'll laugh and have a good time. They're still there.
Right.
They are still there.
That's awesome.
It's just in a different format.
Right.
You know what? We don't use the same computer we used 10 years ago. We have a different format, different platforms. Life is built of change. And sometimes the change is not always pleasant, but we need to try to find the good in some of those changes. So that's what we do.
That's right.
We love our people here. We love a big party.
And speaking of party, what's going on with Ethel?
Ethel, I know my friend that does videos on our Facebook page. She's having knee surgery tomorrow.
Oh no! So she's definitely not a candidate for the dunk tank.
No, but I will tell you this: the first dunking tank we had, she was in it. Now that's been a long time ago, but she got dunked so many times we had to hold one leg up and swing it over her head because she couldn't get out.
Maybe that's why she needs knee surgery.
Exactly.
Oh, poor Libby. Oh,
yeah,
well.
Poor Libby. I love Libby. You know, Libby's been here the entire 10 years. We have a great staff here. Libby's been here as a volunteer.
Right.
Going on 11 years.
That's amazing.
And Joe and Velda and some of them. And Katie's been here a long time. We had she's my assistant, and we've had Katie a long time, and her grandparents were both here. Both of her grandparents had dementia at the same time.
Wow.
And lived in their home. So we have a great team here. You can't work here, you will get fired. The mean part of me will come out. You will be fired if you come here and you do not love people living with dementia.
Right. No.
Not going to happen.
Well, the greatest compliment you ever gave me was you didn't know anything about me much. And you didn't really know my history much. I always felt so compelled, and even as a young person, I was doing senior centers and nursing home ministry when I was 5 years old. And I was literally on the piano bench with my grandmother as she played up a town, man. And she was 6 feet tall and 6 feet wide. So I didn't have much room to hold on for dear life while my grandmother was playing. But I remember when I was just a kid singing in front of, who knows back then, what we weren't nearly as educated into the dementias and Alzheimer's and things. But I remember those people looking at me and just crying and embracing me. And it was like a drug, Mary Anne. I'll be honest with you.
I know.
I felt would walk out of that nursing home or that care facility and I'd be like, this is awesome. Little did I realize that 61 years later, that God would put you in my life, as I've done this for many years prior to that. And the day that we performed and I don't say perform, we just led music is all we did. Jeff and I came in and we sang hymns. We sang the great songs. And the instant connection brought me to 1960 at Salem County Nursing Home in Salem County, New Jersey, and I felt at home. And that was what you saw.
Exactly. That's what I saw. And as a little girl, I lived in rural Arkansas, and at Christmas, my brother and I was allowed to sing at this little Methodist church. A lot of churches won't allow children to sing, but when you only have 25 people in your congregation, it's kind of hard not to. And your family owns the land the church sits on. So anyway, but other than that, they would allow us to sing at Christmas. And I can remember when school started in September, we would get so excited because we knew Christmas was coming, even though it was 4 months away, but we were going to get to sing a solo.
That's right. Yep.
And you know what? We would stand up there like we were in Carnegie Hall, and we would sing those Christmas carols, and everybody would just cry and hug and tell us, oh, my brother and I actually sang on the radio together. Now, this will be hard for you to believe, but we were at KXAR Radio in Hope, Arkansas, which is where Mike Huckabee got his start.
Oh, my
because
goodness.
He lived in Hope as well. So they let us come and sing. And so we sang our school program on the radio, and they let us walk through. This is awful. They let us walk through and tell who we were. So we were walking through. My brother was a year younger than I was, so I had him by the hand. We were little, like first grade, kindergarten. We were small. And so we're walking through there, and they said, now tell them who you are. And I said, I'm Mary Anne Evans, and this is my brother. Thank you. And I didn't even say his name, and he looked at me and he said, well, sissy, you didn't even say my name. And I said, it's so I've always laughed. We've always laughed. I said, well, the fame got to me. It just got to me too quick.
It just went to your head.
It just went to my head, But it's those times of music that literally have paved a way for me to do what I do now. If it were not for the gospel music community and people like you and Jeff in the gospel music world, Tribute, the Tallies, Gerald Wolfe, the Hymn Sing, all of those people, because of that gift of song that God gives us all, people with dementia still hold on to their music. And so I have to believe God had a plan. I love the lyrics. I think John Darren Rousey wrote this. When God has another plan, walk on and just say yes. When God has another plan, be assured that he knows best. I've held on to that because it is the truth. Because when God has a plan for somebody's life with dementia, be assured that he knows best. For those living with dementia, when God has another plan, be assured that he knows best.
It's the truth.
It's the truth.
That's right.
It's the truth for them. He's hidden away in our hearts. So music is huge for people living with dementia. So hence why we've become buddies. Our pass it on. I'll tell you that song. It takes a spark to get a fire going. And it just tore up the church. So do you remember that? That one song. I'm telling you. It tore up the church world. So funny.
Well, we'll close with this one. The real stars, doing what you do and doing what I do, and of course, all the names that you just mentioned from the Tallies and Gerald Wolfe and all that. If we really sat them down, and I know their hearts, you know them probably better than I. If we really sit them down,
right?
The real stars of the quote show are the people in the seats. And the real star of the Veranda Ministries is not Mary Anne and not your support staff and not the people that come, but it's the people that sing, and they're the stars.
There's the stars. It is the truth, Sue. To see a smile, when you ask someone with dementia that doesn't know what day of the week it is, what month it is, and you say, okay, tell me something that you're thankful for. They'll go, well, God sat on my bed and talked to me last night. I said, he did? He goes, yeah. Has he not ever sat there and talked to you? And I wanted to go, well, I don't know if he, I don't think so. I said, well, did he answer? She goes, well, of course. Well, let me tell you, I believe it with all my heart and soul because I watched her pass away. And she had a death that was as peaceful. Dementia lost its hold on her. Dementia lost its hold, and her soul flew to that place, to the man she had served her entire life. Dementia could not, will not ever take over that part of their heart. Never.
That's right.
That's the hope. He is our blessed hope, but he is their blessed hope as well for those that love him and have served him their entire life. He still loves them. He still takes care of them. He still protects them. He sends them to people that will care about them. So, hey, you know what? I love what I do. They are the stars of the show.
I can't wait to see them. If they're listening right this minute and it's June the 3rd with the release of this podcast airing, the next day would be June the 4th, which is tomorrow. So, but if they're listening in the future, and they will, a lot of people go back and re-listen to a lot of the episodes. If they're listening, all they got to do is get on verandaministries.org and make a donation. You know, even in the midst of all of the realm of asking and pleading, we're not talking about that. You're absolutely investing in the lives and the families of these incredible human beings who love God. And all they want to do is just be recognized as a real person. And Mary Anne, you are a class act with that. And I just appreciate that.
Thank you.
June the 4th, I'll see you at the dunk tank. Oh, no.
Listen, I've got to go find something that doesn't stick to you like saran wrap. You got to think about that. You come up out of that water and you look like a weenie wrapped in saran wrap. You're just like,
well, I know. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Awful.
Well, we all know I'm going to be dressed Victorian wise, but I don't know what I'm going to put underneath of it. I might have to put some leggings on underneath of it or something to hold everything in.
Put some pantaloons underneath there.
Oh, my. Well, this has been a wonderful time with Mary Anne. Get on Aging, Angst, and Alleluia's podcast with Mary Anne Oglesby-Sutherly and an arsenal of great guests, from Deborah Talley to Missy Buchanan and Barbara Carnes. We've had some great episodes, and there's more to come for sure. All right, we'll see you on Saturday for real. And I would love the sponsorship to come in my name, too. Get on verandaministries.org and then make a donation, $5 a throw. And make sure you say you want to dunk Sue Duffield into next week. Because
That's right.
Dunk Sue.
Dunk Sue.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in again, for being a part of this podcast today. You can also get on SueDuffield.com, which has, on my front page, has everything on there that we've talked about. Also links to get to the veranda, as well as links for the Sue Duffield Ministries Subiquitous podcast, and then also Marriage Dynamics. So thank you again for tuning in. And I promise you this, I might be waterlogged, but I will see you next week.